Let me start first. Very warm welcome to all the participants here. Special thanks to our sir and the department chair of our department, Shajida Akhtar madam. And I have seen some students here with whom I requested to attend my session. So it is basically about my research project that I conducted a year ago, actually. It is an overdue project, and because of the coronavirus crisis, I could not, I did not submit the report. But now we have decided to go for a online presentation for submitting it. Now I will go for some slide sharing. But before I go for my slide sharing, let me tell you a brief background that what I did for my research. So I hope that you already know that what is the title of my project. It's basically about green entrepreneurship. Now it is a new concept to many of you, and I know that it's kind of a very emerging and growing concept in particularly in South Asia in general and Bangladesh in particular. Now, what is green entrepreneurship? Let me tell you this first. Now, what is entrepreneurship? So I'm going to look at the prospects. Prospects means that the possibilities of adopting green entrepreneurship in Bangladesh and what are the challenges associated with it. Then, so it is basically the prospects and challenges of green entrepreneurship. Now, what is green entrepreneurship? Now, before I go for green entrepreneurship, let me tell you what is entrepreneurship. You all know what is entrepreneurship, but still, entrepreneur is a person who must have some qualities like must be risk taker, must be innovative, result oriented, he or she must have foresightness, so on and so forth. So there are a lot of characteristics that an entrepreneur should have. And entrepreneurship is basically of being an entrepreneur. And then green entrepreneurship is a new concept, kind of a very a new concept. So, and it means that when it is a new type of commerce, which blends economy and environment. That means an entrepreneur should have the quality of earning profit, go for earning profit at the same time they think for environment protection. So it's a kind of a new type of commerce. Now, so this is basically, and then when I was going through some literature that what actually mean by green entrepreneurship, I was moved by Nicolau in 2018, and he said that there are three types of green entrepreneurs. One is innovative entrepreneur, the second one is visionary entrepreneur, and third one is strategic entrepreneur. Now, innovative entrepreneur is a person who goes for innovation, and he or she must have an objective of earning profit at the same time protecting environment. Visionary entrepreneur is who adopt green entrepreneurship just for idealistic reason, because they truly believe that it is important to adopt green entrepreneurship. And third one is a strategic entrepreneurship who tries to find out new opportunities in the market. So for my research, I was basically moved by innovative entrepreneurship and strategic entrepreneurship. And as I said, what I was trying to do from the title of my research, you have an understanding, but it's from my side, I need to clarify that there are some of the basic research questions that I tried to find out. The first question is, what are the challenges of promoting green entrepreneurship in Bangladesh? Number two, what are the possibilities of adapting green entrepreneurship? Number three, how the concept of green entrepreneurship has been perceived. Number four is to explore some concept papers and some policy documents of the government to understand the gap. Is there any gap in in existing policies? And then I try to propose some policy suggestions. And then these are the what question. Then I would like to tell you about the why question, that why I think that it is important. That means the significance of my research. That why is it important to conduct a research in green entrepreneurship? Number one reason is very little meaningful research has so far been conducted in this area. There are some researches on entrepreneurship. I have conducted some research on women entrepreneurship, but there's not much research about green entrepreneurship, particularly in Bangladesh. So limited analysis of policy and practice has been done on it. And then we all know that second, very, this is the most important, that we all know that about climate change, right? And Bangladesh is a disaster-prone country, and we know how natural calamities are affecting us every year. And there are a lot of reasons why it is happening. This is because of the geographical situation of Bangladesh, because of the global warming. There are many reasons, but whatever the reasons are, outcome is natural calamities are very common in our country, and it is coming in many ways. It has happened in many ways: flood, drought, cyclone, so on and so forth. So therefore, it is, and climate change is a very crucial issue that we need to address. Now, when we talk about climate change, there are two basic aspects that we need to follow. One is climate change mitigation, and other is climate change adaptation. Now, what is climate change mitigation? Climate change mitigation means when you deal with causes of climate change. And other one is how you adapt with climate change. So one deals with causes, that means climate change mitigation, and other deals with the effect, which is climate change adaptation. Now, green entrepreneurship, when you talk about green entrepreneurship, is basically, you can link this with climate change mitigation. Although it is a very challenging one, because it still is a very new concept, but if we really want to minimize the causes of climate change, we must have to address green entrepreneurship. Now, so climate change so if we want to deal with climate change mitigation, there is no other alternative but to adopt green entrepreneurship, particularly in the most disaster-prone country where I born and brought up, which is Bangladesh. And also, we all know, particularly during Corona crisis, we all know that many people are losing their jobs. And also, before Corona time, we know that we are overpopulated country. And we have limited number of jobs, but we have huge number of job seekers. So there is a slogan that you should not be job seeker, you should be job creator. So a lot of self-employment needs to be promoted in our country. But if we go for self-employment, why not green self-employment? So this is the argument that I'm trying to address in my research. Then how did I conduct my research? It is basically a very micro level analysis, and it's not a very big project, but this is a entry. This is the entry because I'm currently I'm writing a book on it as well. So where I have conducted a bit of more of a research. But for this research project, it's not a very big project, small one. So I conducted it in Rajshahi city, the city where I born and brought up. And now, if you tell me why I have chosen this city, you all know that according to Guardian report, Bangladesh is Rajshahi is the cleanest city in Bangladesh. But if we want to ensure the cleanliness, there are some measures that need to be taken because it will not be same in future. So one thing that we need to adopt is green entrepreneurship, according to my perception. Now, I conducted, so research side, if we talk about research side, it was basically the outskirts of Rajshahi city. I conducted it in Borodhadash area, in Basua area, where I had found some green entrepreneurs. Now, I have chosen those green entrepreneurs who work with renewable and producing renewable energy by using waste materials. So I've chosen those entrepreneurs. And then it is entirely a qualitative research study. No quantitative analyzing method has been applied, and it was entirely. And I conducted a purposive network sampling, and for data collection tools, I conducted it was entirely in-depth interview, face-to-face in-depth interview. And while I was conducting interviews, I collected some detailed case stories from them. And also observation. Because we know for conducting a research, triangulation is very important. So these are basically my data collection tools. And for data analysis, I used thematic analysis for data collection. And I conducted series of in-depth interviews with green entrepreneurs, non-green entrepreneurs, with government officials, with some of the community leaders, and also bank officials, because Bangladesh Bank is responsible for providing green financing to green entrepreneurs. So I went to some of the banks to understand actually what is going on. Now so far I have answered my what question, what I'm trying to see from my research, then why is it important to conduct a research in this area, and then how did I do it. Now let me show you findings of my research. So I'm going for a screen sharing now. So I've done up to this, and then okay, so let's talk a little bit about, before I go to the findings, I consulted with this, which is nationally appropriate mitigation action. And when I was going through this NAMA policy, I found that everything was there. It talks about energy efficiency, it talks about greater use of renewable energy. However, the green entrepreneurship concept is missing in the whole paper. So, but to me, it is very important to address the concept. But without understanding the concept, we cannot think or dream of green entrepreneurship. Now, findings. So in the beginning, I would like to go with some challenges. And I categorize those challenges into 3 broad categories, because I talked with different types of respondents, and I analyzed, I went for a thematic analysis, and then I found the challenges and categorized into 3 broad areas, which one is financial challenge, the most important challenge that I found. Second one is behavioral challenge, and third one is institutional challenge. Then financial challenge, the most crucial challenge. So when I talked with green entrepreneurs, I found that not 80%, they actually, I asked them whether they know about, so green entrepreneurship is also called eco-entrepreneurship. So whether they know about green or green banking. Because when I was, it is in the document that the bank should promote green entrepreneurship, and they should provide green finance to the green entrepreneurs. But unfortunately, 80% of them say that they know about it, but 20% of them, they have no idea about green banking. Then there is a green credit card facility from the banks, but none of them know about it. And it is very natural that the entrepreneur who is situated in Rajshahi, they may not know about green credit card facility. Now, very important, which is ITCOL, that means Infrastructure Development Company Limited. And this company, they basically provide green finance to the green businessman or entrepreneur. So everyone knows about it. And there is a green banking policy formulated by Bangladesh Bank, and nobody knows about it. And then I asked them whether green financing is available to them. Unfortunately, 90% of them say that green financing is not available to them. And they are not satisfied with ITCO. I'm going to tell you in a minute. ITCO means Infrastructure Development Company Limited, and none of them are satisfied. And I'm going to tell you through the case stories, through some qualitative evidences, that why they are not satisfied. And I asked them, did they receive any training? None of them received any training from the government side or any organization. And I asked them whether they had any support from the government or from their experience is very bad to when they approach to any government agencies. And I asked them whether they face any challenges in getting approval, and all of them say that yes, it's very challenging of getting approval. And they also, I mentioned that, do they think that different departments, because for getting approval for green business, you need to get approval from different departments of the government, Department of Environment, Department of Explosive, but there is a communication gap among those departments, and 100% told me this. And now here is a green entrepreneur with whom I talked, and his business name is Bio-CNG and Biofertilizer Plant. I had contacted the 15 cases, I talked with 15 green entrepreneurs and 10 non-green entrepreneurs, because I reached the saturation point after talking with them. But for my presentation, I have chosen 2 case stories that I found really important to talk about. And he's a green entrepreneur, and he chose this business, and it was his choice. Now let me tell you what is the challenges he faced. The first challenge, the most important challenge, is the financial challenge, because I told you about Infrastructure Development Company Limited. But when he went to the Infrastructure Development Company Limited, he said that although ITCOL is an investment company for green entrepreneurs, but it does not provide financing out of Dhaka, the capital city of Bangladesh. Therefore, I could not avail funding from ITCOL. I also went to Bangladesh Bank, Eastern Bank, and Prime Bank, but I found bankers had either little or no knowledge about green financing. So it is a fact that ITCOL, so whenever I talked with those green entrepreneurs who are situated in Rajshahi, and all of them say that ITCOL is not very supportive, and they are basically Dhaka center, the capital city of the country. Then I tried to look, I go for some institutional challenge when I talked with him, and he said, when I went to Department of Environment, I was told that this type of green business does not require license. But after a few days, I was informed by Department of Explosives that I need approval and license, and a license which I need to be availed from Dhaka city. And getting license is very difficult, that he said to me. And then some behavioral challenges. And while I was talking with him, he told me that whenever we talk about renewable energy, by using waste product, we always go for cow dung or, but he said to me that there are some of the waste that are more useful than cow dung, which is the waste product that produces from sugar mill. So he went to Rajshahi sugar mill, and it has 3 types of waste. One is molasses, bogus, and third one is spray smart. But when he went to Rajshahi sugar mill, he didn't get any support from them, and he had to spend a lot of money just for collecting waste. And he also tried to work with the municipal waste, but when he went to Rajshahi City Corporation, he found that he didn't get any cooperative attitude from them. So all are the challenges that he found. And when I asked about the possibilities, he said he had a kind of still stuck on it, and because it is his dream, and he said that he wants to see how far it goes. And he mentioned about the government support. A lot of training programs are needed. A lot of financing needs to be introduced for promoting green entrepreneurship, according to him. And the next case story is Salam. He is a kind of a successful. However, he also faced a lot of challenges, and he told me that the institutional challenge, he started producing biogas from a dairy farm, and he supplied gas to some lagunas, but after 3 months, he was operating it very successfully. But suddenly, after 3 months, Department of Explosives, some officials came to his office, and told him to stop his business because they found that he's not using latest technology. But for using latest technology, he needs a lot of money, and he doesn't have this, and he doesn't have any finance for this business. And he told me that I could not get approval from Sustainable and Renewable Energy Development Authority. So they needs an approval from there, and they could not get approval from there. And another important thing is when they produce gases from these waste products, as a byproduct, they produce fertilizer. But none of their fertilizer meet the standard set by the government. And that's why they cannot sell those fertilizer to the market. And again, the financial challenge, he told me that he went to ITCOL, that is Infrastructural Development Company Limited. He went there for 10 times, but he could not avail funding from them. And also he mentioned about the government support, and he mentioned about the necessities of adopting green entrepreneurship. And the behavioral challenge, what he found that he went to municipal, again, he also went to Rajshahi City Corporation for collecting municipal waste for his business, but he didn't get any support from them. Everywhere he mentioned that everything requires a huge amount of money, but they neither have money nor have any loan from anywhere. So this is the challenge. Then after talking with those green entrepreneurs and with some non-green entrepreneurs to understand why they're not adopting it, when I talked with some non-green entrepreneurs, they say that and most of them doesn't know about it. They say that why do we need to adopt this? And second one is that the concept is not very popular, and also there's they know the challenges associated with green entrepreneurship. Then I went to some government, Department of Environment and Department of Exclusive, and also Rajshahi City Corporation. And I talked with Chief Conservancy Officer of Rajshahi City Corporation. He told me that green entrepreneurship is nothing but consists of 3R, which is reduce. That means reduce of greenhouse gas emission to the atmosphere. Second one is reuse, and third one is recycle. And then when I was talking with him about why they're not providing, why they are charging a lot of money for providing municipal waste, he mentioned that it again requires a huge finance because of this waste is actually, the separating machine is very expensive and costly, and therefore he mentioned that it is not financially sustainable. Then when I was talking with him, that means we were talking that the government is not keen to promote green entrepreneurship. Then he said that no, government is very keen about it. Then I got some contradictory comments from him, but what he said, that I found a beacon of hope, because he talked about an MOU has been signed with RCC, that is Rajshahi City Corporation, and Waste Technology of Canada. And Rajshahi City Corporation, and they had some contract, and where they said that Rajshahi City Corporation will provide space and waste, and then the company, that means Waste Technology of Canada, they will use their technology and they will invest, and the profit will be shared. So this is a kind of a hope that I have seen. And he told me that government is very alert about green entrepreneurship, and if it continues, we'll definitely notice some changes in near future. So he is hopeful. So actually, when I talk with green entrepreneurs and non-green entrepreneurs, I found they are completely hopeless, and they have mentioned mostly challenges rather than prospects. However, when I talk with government officials, I found that there is a prospect of green entrepreneurship. Then I tried to analyze that what could be the way forward. So there is no alternative that we need today or tomorrow. We need to address the issue, because when I start thinking, it is a challenging concept, right? Because self-employment and entrepreneurship concept is still very new, and people do not want to take challenge, risk. And for green entrepreneurship, it's more risky than entrepreneurship. So it's a challenging thing to do, but we have no alternatives. Today or tomorrow, sooner or later, we have to go for it. Okay, if we address climate change, try to address climate change. And I think, again, government needs to be supportive. A lot of training programs needs to be taken, and a lot of awareness programs needs to be taken to aware those entrepreneurs. And again, the big challenge, what I found, is the financial challenge that needs to be addressed. And for the fertilizer, they showed me, I have a lot of pictures of fertilizer, that they have a kind of a dump of fertilizers, but since they do not have license, they could not make the standard set by the government. They're unable to sell it in market. So I think the administrative procedures and getting approval method should be simple, and they should have a space to access the government agencies. And again, we need to change our mindset, and again, that will not happen overnight. I think that's all from me today. Now your questions and any kinds of comments or any questions will be highly appreciated. And thank you very much for your patience. I have seen 52 participants today, so I'm quite happy. Then the floor is open for you. Any question, comments, or anything? I'll be happy to answer. Any question, please? Any comment?
Hello, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
How are you?
I'm good. Who is talking?
I'm Ridoy Ahmed.
Okay, Ridoy. How are you, Ridoy?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. And it was a lovely presentation, I must say. It was really nice. So I would like to give an opinion, like an extra opinion about the behavioral things. So without the surrounding, I personally has noticed it when a person is trying to do something new, is working really hard, but you can see that some people around him or her is like demotivating him or her. So it's a very very bad thing. We all know. So for this perspective, I think we should raise the social awareness and promote the entrepreneurship, the green entrepreneurship, I guess. So that was my opinion about on this perspective.
Very correct, very correct. Particularly government agencies, you see, when we do anything with NGO, we can go directly to the office, we can talk with them, but any government office, you see, you cannot, it's very rule oriented or non-cooperative, so on and so forth. So also, you are very right that, and particularly when you try to do something new, you must have more challenges to face. That's very correct, Ridoy. Thank you.
Ma'am.
Any questions or any comments? Shafi bhai.
আসসালামু আলাইকুম সরি আমি আসলে মনে করছি 11টায়
It's
আমি
okay.
তোমার 10:30টায় আমি কেবল মিটিং সরি আসলে আমি মিস করে ফেলছি
No problem, Shafi bhai, no problem. It's okay. It's okay.
না আসলে আমি তোমার কাছে নরমালি এর আগে 11টা হচ্ছে আমি 11টায় ধরে আসি আমি ইমেলটা অন দেখেছি তোমার 10:30টা আমি দেখলাম তোমার থ্যাংক ইউ দিয়ে দিছো
Thank you for your good wish. Anyone?
আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ কার কি কোনো কমেন্টস থাকলে শুনি একটু তাহলে
Anyone? Any comments, questions? Any question or comment?
Ma'am, again a comment.
Oh, okay. Again, Ridoy.
Yes.
Good.
So I just came up with a new idea. I don't know if I'll have a patent on this, but yeah, I would like to give an idea. So I think in Tangail, in my district,
Hmm.
in Madhupur Upazila, I have seen that some young boys doing the entrepreneurship in they are collecting fiber from banana tree peel. So it's very rich. It's a green project, I must say. So it's very profitable also and very reliable. So in this case, these kind of things, I think this should be promoted more to inspire the youth generation, and to encourage them to come forward to do entrepreneurship and green entrepreneurship, these kind of things. So
That's
promote
very.
a good thing. I
Thank
must
you,
say.
Rita. Yes, it's another an example, good example of green entrepreneurship. What I found from my research that there is a communication gap between those who are producing the waste materials and those who are using it. So that coordination needs to be made. There is a big coordination gap between these two parts. And again, you are very right that if we want to promote it, we must have to address it first, then
Yes,
try to facilitate it, right?
yes.
So thank you for your comments.
You're
Again,
welcome, ma'am.
anyone, any question, any comments from anyone?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes. Who is
Ma'am, can you
talking?
hear me?
Yes,
Ma'am, I'm
I can
Akash.
hear you. Is it Akash?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yes. Go on. Go ahead.
Ma'am, ma'am, is there any way to relate waste management and green entrepreneurship?
Yes, of course. This is what I said. Waste, you are producing something new by utilizing waste products. That is the concept of green entrepreneurship. Green entrepreneurship, as I said, it is reuse, recycle. 3R, as I said. It is reduce. That means reduction of the effects of climate change, reduction of the greenhouse gas emissions to atmosphere. So this is the objectives. That means reduce, and then reuse, and then recycle. Reuse, because that the waste you are reusing it, right? So and trying to come up with some new thing. So this is another one. And then recycle is very important, because if you want to work with a municipal waste, you must have to go for recycling method, which is very expensive, as I said. Yes. Any comment, any question? So I think there is no question or comment left. So I'm very happy. And Shafi bhai, thank you very much for coming.
ফারা,
Yeah.
আমি 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 হ্যাঁ, আমি একটু একটু কথা বলি।
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ।
আমি প্রথমত সরি বলে নেই, আসলে আমি টাইমিংটা মিস করে ফেলছি। আর বরাবরের মতো তোমাকে আসলে ধন্যবাদ জানাই, আমি মিস করছি, যদিও আমি জানি যে তোমার প্রেজেন্টেশন খুবই ভালো হয়েছে, ছেলেমেয়েরা অবশ্যই এনজয় করেছে। এবং তোমার যে এরিয়া, ডেফিনেটলি এটা নতুন একটা এরিয়া, এই এরিয়াতে বাংলাদেশে খুবই কম কাজ হয়েছে, সেই দিক থেকে আমি মনে করি তুমি ওয়ান অফ দ্য পায়োনিয়ার্স ইন দিস ফিল্ড। আসলে গ্রিন টেকনোলজি, গ্রিন ইন্ডাস্ট্রি, গ্রিন এন্টারপ্রেনারশিপ, এই কনসেপ্ট গুলো এখন আমাদের দেশে আস্তে আস্তে আসতেছে, সেক্ষেত্রে আমি মনে করি তুমি পায়োনিয়ার হবে। তাই আমি আশা করি তোমার এটা অবশ্যই ভালো একটা রিসার্চ হবে, আমরা আশা করি। থ্যাংক ইউ, থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thank you, Shafi bhai, for your compliment. I truly appreciate. অনেক ধন্যবাদ, Shafi bhai.
ওকে,
আচ্ছা, তাহলে that's all for today, everyone. So I would like to now say goodbye to everyone. Have a nice day and enjoy your day. Okay.
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ,
You
থ্যাংক ইউ।
go.
Assalamu alaikum, ma'am.
Who is talking again? So I'm trying to wrapping it up. Okay, Shafi bhai, thanks for joining.
Okay.
And
Okay,
I had Awal sir and Polly madam in the beginning, and I had seen Parvez sir, then he suddenly disappeared. I don't know where he has gone. Okay, and thanks for joining, Shafi bhai. Okay,
ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ,
everybody,
থ্যাংক ইউ।
other students, goodbye.
গুড।
Goodbye, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.